This is the Coin Show Podcast. The show about coins and coin collecting. And not just any show. This is the #1 coin collecting podcast, going 10 years strong. Here's Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman on the Coin Show Podcast.
It is episode 183 of the Coin Show Podcast, live from the Newman Numismatic Portal Symposium.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And on this very special episode of the Coin Show Podcast, Matt and I will talk about what's going on in our corners of the world. We will take some questions and answers from the Newman Numismatic Portal Symposium attendees. You say that.
Wow, that was impressive.
And we'll do our competition segment of who had the coolest thing to walk into our shops this week. But first, as always, the news.
Yes. Okay, so you guys that watch the show, you know I love this part. So what do we got? Who's this sponsored by?
Since this is such a special segment, we have two sponsors for tonight.
Amazing.
So the news is brought to you by Puddles, letting the world know that it just rained for as long as anyone can remember. Puddles. And by Screws, helping the world hold it together since 2000 BCE. Screws. Don't forget your other sound cue. We begin this week with a story of spring, hope, and new awakenings. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
It is. It's beautiful.
As a sure sign that the world is starting to peek back out from the lockdown, the ANA has reopened its lending library.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ANA announced the reopening in their monthly money mail on March 17th. And this is great news and absolutely a sure sign that the hibernation of America is finally coming to an end.
Oh, I sure hope so. It's been a long time coming. It's been over a year now.
Yes, I think we've all pretty much had it.
Yeah, no joke.
It's like, just keep your head down. Just keep going. It's right there.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Sorry.
I can tell you got small kids.
A little Dory humor.
One note. The ANA library has digital access to back issues of The Numismatist, and I understand that there are some copyright issues to be worked out. However, given that the ANA is a nonprofit, some deal for access digitally to the ANA library would be so much more accessible.
You would think.
To people in general, and more than one person could use a specific reference at the same time.
Right.
The chances of loss, theft, or damage to one of these, books would be absolutely eliminated.
Yep, I agree.
So I just think it's a really good idea. It would be something. It would be something that would be worth trying to get done. And the ANA's nonprofit status would help, I think, in helping them procure what rights they need in order to be able to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It sounds like a lot of work, but I think it's a great idea.
And a perfect example of how this can be done is the Newman Numismatic Portal. So that's a shameless plug for the
There
NNP.
you go.
And this is a bell that, look, I've been ringing this for about 7 years now, and I will continue to beat this horse until both the horse and, more importantly, I can no longer.
I love it.
The U.S. Mint has released 2021 Proof Gold Eagles Volume 1.
I see. Wow.
Now, there are no plans for a Volume 2. I'm just saying that, this is 2021 W, first reverse of 21. I say it so that, we're not confused if they decide to do the reverse at San Francisco, with this reverse at San Francisco before moving on to the next one. But I mean, everything that they've done with the Eagle program this year has completely stunned and amazed me, and not in a good way.
Yeah, it's been different. It's been weird. It's been not great for a lot of people.
Every time they put one of these up, the coins sell out within minutes. So, the 2021 gold proofs sold out in minutes.
Yep, the silver proofs did too.
I don't understand the mentality of limiting the mintage on these coins, particularly when they seem to be so popular.
Yeah, or I mean, don't they could also turn down didn't they have like a crazy household limit on something recently that was just left everybody scratching their heads?
Well, yeah, that was the Proof Silver Eagles
Yeah, that's right.
that they only made 300 some thousand of, and then they put a household limit of 99 on it. So yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is look, they have all year to make these and still stay within the minting laws. So I mean, they could make these all the way into November or December.
I think they, knowing the Mint, they're probably trying to pop these out of the way so that they can gear up for the new reverses and the new coins as quickly as possible. But who knows?
Right. So now comes the question of, okay, so they're going to do a reverse change mid-year. If I think about this right, when the 2022 comes out, do you think that they'll have made refinements, therefore a type 1, type 2?
Who knows? There are so many things flipping through the Mint right now. It's got my head spinning.
Making your head swim with this stuff.
Oh,
so
it's
look, my thing is just why not mint them to demand? The Mint is definitely not in the business of creating secondary market coins, but it seems they're doing lately.
yeah. I think that it might have to do with the fact that they're running maybe a limited staff, but I mean, who knows? Who knows right now? Everything about the last year and a half has been really weird. 2020 was weird.
Director, and let's hope that one is not directly the cause of the other.
Yeah, that's true too. Very true.
The Mint has also released the 2021 Mint Proof set. So this year's opening sales were just a bit off from the last 2 years.
Ooh, that's weird looking.
But when special W Mint Proof coins have been included. So this year's set is reminiscent of the old 6-coin Proof set because there are only 2 quarter designs this year. Oddly, 3 less quarters doesn't give us any price break. The sets are the same, $32.95 as last year.
Yeah, of course. That's just how they got to roll, right?
Not to mention that they're not including the innovation dollars for some unknown reason.
Wow, we're really railing on them tonight.
I told you not to mention it. However,
sorry.
This is our first opportunity to see the new Washington Crossing Delaware reverse and the old Washington Quarter obverse. So I don't know which I was more excited to see, but only for 1 year, please. Next year, new program. I do not want to return to the old,
Yeah, well, I wonder what the front looks like. Have you seen the front of one of these yet? The
No,
Washington Quarters?
That was kind of my thing is I've been looking all over the place, and you can find line drawings of the reverse, the Washington Crossing to Delaware. You can even see pictures of the new proof coin. You can see, other images of it, but I have not seen a single one yet of the obverse with the 2021 date on it. So
I guess I kind of want to see one of these in my hand because they're going back to like the funky, like pre-state quarter obverse, aren't they?
That's what I understand it to be, is that this is going to completely return to the 1998 obverse with just Liberty, Washington's head, In God We Trust to the left, mint mark to the right, and the data underneath. And that's it. So it's the familiar old Washington Quarter obverse.
Well, I mean, I'm no expert on these.
I'm looking forward to seeing it again, but only, but look, next year they're going to do another program. And I think it's going to have this same obverse.
I'm not, no.
You know what?
I can't I can't even force myself to care at this point. I kind of want to see what it looks like, but
it's so much more upset with.
Lord.
So, Coin Collector's Blog asked a question this week that most people had no clue, and for really odd reasons, I happen to know the answer to. That question was, who is Stuart Weitzman?
I feel like I've heard the name before, but I don't know.
Okay. So Stuart Weitzman, in my knowledge, was a fashion designer from the 70s. But he got his start. He started a shoe company with his brother and his father. When his father passed, he continued the company, but they ended up shutting it down. And he continued to design women's fashion.
Okay.
For years
Now,
afterwards. So,
there's a burning question in my heart right now. How in the heck do you know that?
okay, so in my, I want to say very first life, I worked for a shoe store here in Chicago, a fairly famous one called Chernitz.
Were you like Al Bundy?
You know, it's so odd how many times I've been called that over the course of my life. Yes, I was exactly Al Bundy. I had a tie and a shirt, you know, and a collared shirt and nice pants and shoes and jacket, just, you know, that. And I took care of women and children and sold them shoes on straight commission. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I did that. And one of the designers that we had was Stuart Weitzman, so I knew the name.
Okay, so I guess I gotta ask, what does a shoe designer from the 70s have to do with coins at all?
Okay, well, the reason that he's important to coin collecting is that he was the anonymous buyer of the 1933 Double Eagle, the King Farouk specimen, the only one that's legal to own thus far.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Weitzman bought that. He has been anonymous the entire time.
And that, like, the last time that sold was like I think it was the early 2000s, if I remember right, like 2002
yeah, I think
or
it was
3.
The 3, 2, 4, somewhere right in there.
Yeah, okay, here it is. It says Weitzman was the winning bidder, held on July 30th, 2002 in New York City.
2. So yes, so he has owned it, and you know, okay, so Weitzman did not only just own this holy grail of coins, right?
Sure,
he also owned the plate block of the 4 inverted Jennies stamps.
Oh wow! So like
this is a holy grail of stamp rarities. It's like, you know, I mean, it's all that in a bag of chips.
I'll explain this. If you guys don't know what a plate block is, every sheet of stamps has a little number in the side, and that's your plate number. And the plate block is the 4 closest stamps to that number, which would include that number on the sheet. So there's only one of those per sheet of stamps. And when it comes to the inverted Jennies, they believe that there's only one sheet of inverted Jennies. So there's only one plate block out there. There is no others. That's it.
Yeah, it's unique. So it is the holy grail of stamp rarities.
Wow.
And he owned the plate block. So
owned or owns? Like still owns?
Yes, still owns. So
wow.
He's auctioning that as well. So this is why it's come to light that he was the owner. Sotheby's in its lead up to the auction has quoted Weitzman about his collection. He said, "I had a lifelong dream of collecting the single greatest rarities into 2 great collecting areas of stamps and coins, and then placing these extraordinary treasures hidden away for decades on continuous public view." So I'm not really sure where the plate block with the 4 inverted Jennies was, but the 33 Double Eagle had been on display at the New York Historical Society Museum and Library since 2013. And I think that that's really maybe the most philanthropic part of all of it, is that he not only bought it, he put it out there for everybody to see, for everybody to enjoy, and never took credit for a bit of it.
Well, you know, that's exactly, yeah, you're exactly right. That's cool. Now, if I remember right, the Farouk specimen of the 33 Saint is not certified. And I'm actually, I was thinking about this the other day. If you know a little bit about Farouk, he collected coins from everywhere. He was a major coin collector, but he also loved to clean his coins. He
polished them.
He polished a lot of his coins, and I am wondering if that's why this coin's not certified. Wouldn't that be just the worst shame in the world?
That's entirely possible. However, think about this. So yes, he would definitely want to polish his coins, which means he liked them bright and shiny.
Right.
But gold being something that doesn't necessarily really tone all that much, maybe escaped it.
Nope. Farouk almost exclusively collected gold.
Oh. Okay. Well, there's no hope.
Yeah, I mean
that's a horrible tragedy.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think that might be the case with this coin. But you know, I have actually I've seen the Langsboard
I
33
was gonna say,
Saints.
especially if they melt the Langboard ones.
I've seen those coins in person, and they're not messed with. They're just kind of like low end mint state coins.
Well, what about the ones in the Smithsonian? Have you seen those?
No, I actually have not seen those coins in person. The Langborns coins I saw at one of the shows that they had them on display at, and I did get to look at them. 6 inches, 7 inches away. I couldn't hold them, of course, but so it should be interesting to see if this coin ends up in a slab because it's been off the market for almost 20 years now. I mean, it sold in 2002 and it's 2021, and it just is kind of interesting to see what's going to happen because I know there's at least one collector out there right now trying to outdo Eliasberg, and he needs this coin. So
yeah, there's only one.
There's only one. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this sale and if it does end up being certified.
Yeah. I mean, they'll certify it just like they certify the $1804.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Coin Week is reporting that the submissions are now being. Let me try that again. Coin Week is reporting that submissions are being accepted for the AOA Young Numismatist Literary Awards.
Cool.
I get my tongue out of the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, what the heck?
3 awards are available. The Bill Fiva YN Literary Award for ages 8 to 12, the Q. David Bowers YN Literary Award for ages 13 to 17, and the Kenneth E. Brissett YN Literary Award for ages 18 to 22. Now, first place winners will receive a certificate, a $500 cash prize, and a $500 voucher to build a numismatic library, courtesy of the very fine people at Whitman Publishing.
Heck yeah.
Second place winners will receive a certificate and a $200 voucher from Whitman, and third place a certificate and a $100 voucher from Whitman.
Well, let's get those. How do people send them in, Mike?
So the guidelines are as follows. When submitting your articles, you need to provide an ANA member number, the category of submission, and contact information on the first page. So that's your email, your phone number, and your address on the first page. Include the author's name and award category in the file name. Submissions are accepted in Microsoft Word or PDF format only, so that's important.
Yep.
Pay attention to that.
Pay attention, folks.
Up to 3 submissions per author are allowed. Now, completed entries should be emailed to htyndall@money.org or sent to YN Literary Awards, ANA Publications Department, care of Hannah Tyndall, 818 North Cascade Avenue, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80903 3279. MOUSE. Or for additional information, please contact magazine@money.org.
Huh. Cool. That's cool. You guys, you YNs out there that listen to this, get on that. That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, and look, you can build a wonderful numismatic library.
Hey, that's $500 cash prize right there. That's
going to lead to more knowledge.
Yeah, that's a quarter ounce of gold.
There you go. In other ANA news, the first ever Dealer Day will commence on Monday, August 9th.
I saw this.
The day prior to the 2021 World's Fair of Money.
So I guess for those of you guys that don't go to these kind of shows or don't get to them early, so traditionally for the last quite a while, they've had a P&G Day, which P&G stands for the Professional Numismatist Guild. It's an organization that provides resources and camaraderie and
it's a trade association.
It's a trade association for dealers, right? And so traditionally they've had their show, which is just open to P&G dealers to have tables, and it is open to the public actually. Before the World's Fair of Money, but I guess they've decided, or at least the ANA has decided that they want to do their own thing. And, I'm going to go. I'm excited to go.
Well, according to the Coin Week article, the 2021 Dealer Day will be open to the dealer community from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. August 9th. The day-long event is not open to the general public.
And that's the big difference right there. It's not open to the public.
It's just dealers and people that have paid to get in.
Well, and like for dealers, that's actually useful because at these big shows, sometimes you get so busy dealing with the folks that want to look at the coins and the cases that you don't are able to get out and take care of the deals that you're working on with other dealers. So this, for me at least, is useful. And I know to just the average person going to a show, they're going to be like, whatever. But for me,
and particularly to the dealers, the very first day before the show, they can do a lot of business. They can make their trip worthwhile in that day.
yes.
And then they have time to spend with people. They have time to do the extra things that they could do if they have the opportunity to get the work
Right, because
of the trip done.
Because at almost every major show, there's either what they call a trading room, or something like P&G Day before the show, where dealers get in town 2, 3, 4 days early and set up their own kind of little private coin areas, whether it's in a hotel room or it's in like a little conference room. They can actually set up and do business, and they almost always do before major shows. So this is a little different, so it should be interesting to see how it plays out.
And attendees will also have access to lot viewing during Dealer Day for the World's Fair Money auctions being held that week by Heritage Auctions and by Stack's Bowers Galleries. Happy days, right?
Well, that's also useful too. If you're a dealer there looking at a coin in the auction for a customer, that way you don't have to leave your table or leave somebody else at your table to go do the lot viewing. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so happy times, right? Well, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
The PNG is a bit upset about the loss of the PNG ANA trade show that used to immediately precede the World's Fair of Money.
I can't imagine why.
And while I see this as a strictly business decision, the trade association is definitely not taking it lying down.
Well, I mean, for them, that was kind of their biggest exposure to the public and to other dealers. So I can see why that would be a kind of a slap in the face.
Well, look, it was a mutually beneficial business relationship, and sometimes those change. They've chosen to be very public about it, and they issued a blistering statement by PNG President Richard Weaver, who voiced his disappointment at the severance of the PNG Day format by the ANA, stating that the new Dealer Day was done without giving the PNG an opportunity to at least negotiate a bid.
Yeah. Ouch.
Well, I mean, that's the prerogative of the ANA.
Yeah.
It's their show, but it is notable to say that this will be the first time that the PNG trade show doesn't lead into the World's Fair of Money in over 40 years.
Wow. I didn't realize it was going on that long.
Yeah, so it is a real departure from tradition.
Yeah, for sure.
In news of another organization, the Rotary International celebrates 100 years in Australia this year, and the Royal Australian Mint has issued a commemorative $1 coin.
Must have been a slow news day, Mike.
Only for you, Matt. An aluminum bronze alloy coin creates a 25 millimeter coin that weighs only 9 grams. So the Rotary International logo is colorized in blue. The rest of the coin is monochromatic.
Okay.
A mintage of only 40,000 coins is planned. A $5 silver proof coin is also available. I don't know if it's colorized or not. The silver coin is limited to 3,000 pieces. And I think that, for Rotary members, this could be like a cool challenge coin or something like that.
Yeah, I see that.
I mean, it's Australian, so, it's celebrating 100 years in Australia.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it's me, but the portrait of Her Majesty looks to be different. Maybe I just don't see enough Australian coins. Because if you look at her uncrowned portrait on the new Reaper of Death coins...
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're not kidding.
And no, that's not the queen on both sides.
Man, you're rough. What'd she ever do to you?
Oh, how have I hurt you?
Where on the doll has the queen hurt you?
But rather that is a Thanatothyristus grutorum.
Wow.
Degrutorum.
Wait, bless you? Excuse me?
Thanatothyristus degrutorum. This is the first new tyrannosaur discovered in Canada in over 50 years.
Well, that's kind of cool.
I can't put two coherent thoughts together, but I can read all these words.
It's the words that are getting you tonight, I promise.
Right. The coin is plated in rhodium, which gives it the distinctive black color. The images really jump off this coin. I think this one is a surefire winner.
Yeah,
Definitely insert your own QE2 joke here.
Well, I mean, it does look really cool. I kind of want to see one of these in hand because, like the dinosaur skull looks awesome with that black background, and Her Royal Majesty looks very very interesting as well. But let me jump back to that other. Never mind. I can't. I closed it already. Oh well.
Which one?
Oh, the Queen. I was going to jump back to the rotary coin, but
Rotary
I already closed it.
Sorry.
Oh well.
I mean, it does. It looks different. The rotary coin, the Australian coin, has a crowned head, and she looks just older.
Yeah, I wonder how often do they change these? Like, is it up to the country to change them, or do they like get a royal edict on a scroll from Her Majesty that tells them when they're supposed to change them? I mean, obviously they're different between the two coins, so.
It is my understanding that that the portraits are changed at the pleasure of Her Majesty.
Okay, so there's nothing to stop her from saying, "Make me look 30 again."
I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that. I think that she could do that, but no, I think that every once in a while, she's the one that says, "Okay, it's time to update it."
Huh? Interesting. Yeah. See, that's what happens when you don't have a queen. It's interesting.
The Pobjoy Mint has released in its series of Big Cats on World Gold coins. This is a newer version of the popular 2-ounce silver coin series done in high relief.
It looks kind of cool.
So that series was so popular that the Pobjoy Mint decided to issue them in gold.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I think they tried to keep the price somewhere around the same because these are half-gram gold coins, and they're being issued on behalf of Sierra Leone.
Whoa.
They have a mintage limit of 199 coins.
Wait, half gram?
Half-gram gold coins.
So that's like 1/62 of a troy ounce. That's a tiny little thing.
I like to call this series Big Cats on Tiny Coins.
Wow. And the picture, they're putting a picture up here that kind of makes it look almost like a 10th-ouncer in the box.
Oh,
but
you're going to need a microscope to see this coin.
Yeah, this is like going to be like the size of a pencil eraser. These are itty-bitty little coins.
Yeah, that's about it.
Wow. Insane. Let's see. Oh, 11 millimeters. They're the size of a gold dollar.
Wow, that's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, they're tiny, but 11 millimeters. Really, yeah, they must be. Wow. Crazy.
Huh. They have to be insanely thin.
Yeah.
But this, to me, is not the silliest commemorative issue, even so far in 2021.
Oh, boy. Is this going to be a year for silly commemoratives?
I think so.
Oh, man.
Gold and silver coins marking the 200th anniversary of the death of Napoleon Bonaparte are being issued this year by the small island of St. Helena by way of a coiner that I'm definitely not going to try to pronounce in Munich, Germany.
Oh, no, you have to. You have to try this.
No chance whatsoever.
Come on.
No, I've done really well tonight. I'm not gonna.
That's right. You're batting 1,000. So
I am. All I can do is go down.
That's right.
The coins are really beautiful. They have low mintages and include some really cool features, like the rim of the silver coin shows a list of the most important lifetime events in microscript.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool.
Gold coin shows less detail and a shortened legend. I don't know if that's really more size or just technology.
Yeah, look at that. There's look at the picture of it here in the thing. There's a little printing right around the rim, the area between the design and the edge is got a little printing on it. I've never seen that before. I wonder how they. Usually the edge of the coin like that or the rim is the kind of the gap where it's not struck. You know, it kind of gives it that flat appearance, but somehow they managed to put little lettering on there. That's kind of cool.
The technology is cool, huh?
Yeah, neat.
So what's so silly about this coin, you might ask? Well, this coin celebrates the life of a man who cost 3.5 million people their lives and France the supremacy that it previously enjoyed in Europe. He is not a hero, but more of a lesson in history. And most ironically, St. Helena, the, quote, minting authority for this coin, is where Napoleon was ultimately exiled and died. So, that's kind of my thing. Have you ever seen where St. Helena is?
I see you gave me a map here, and I knew it was out in the middle of nowhere, but that is...
small island. Oh, in the middle of nowhere that's an understatement.
That is way out in the middle of nowhere.
In the Atlantic Ocean, pretty much centered between Africa and South America. It's about as far from Europe as you could possibly get.
It looks like it's like 1,500 miles from the coast of Africa, smack dab in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So his first exile was to Elba, which is an island off the coast of Italy. And apparently that was too close because he came back and took over again. And then they exiled him for the second time. Far away was not far enough, apparently.
You're going to this tiny little island.
Yeah, we're going to send you someplace where you'll never come back.
Wow.
And finally in the news, kudos, and I mean capital Kudos, kudos to John Feigenbaum and the team at CDN Publishing. The ANA created this, see what had happened was the ANA created this awesome e-learning academy last year in an effort to help collectors during the lockdown.
Okay. I think we
this was a
reported
really,
about
really
that.
good idea. We were all excited about it, right?
Yes.
All right. So when the ANA started this, I was really, really stoked. And CDN Publishing is partnering with the ANA to ensure that the webinar series remains viable and free of charge to all collectors going forward.
Cool. See, that's cool. That's providing information and in access and information to people for free. You can't go wrong there.
That is doing something to grow the hobby. That is doing a service to coin collectors every place. That is just a good old-fashioned good deed.
Right.
That just fits so well with so many of the things that
Now, have you done any of these?
I have.
Okay.
I have been signed up for quite a few of them. Actually, when they first ran the first time, they ran in the middle of the workday.
Oh yeah, that's not
so
good.
they got paid attention to about while I was in between customers and stuff. So I have not really absorbed what I should have out of them, but I can always go back and watch them again.
That's pretty cool.
And now they have them up on the web forever. And it's those same exact courses. And, look, summer seminar it's not in the stars for everybody, right?
Right.
It's definitely not something that I've been able to do. I've wanted to, but I just haven't been able to do it because of one thing or another.
Right.
So, this is an opportunity for me to take some of the courses like what they teach in summer seminar and really, really kind of get something great out of it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here scrolling through the list of the courses they have right now. Let's see. Beauty in the Banknote, The Feminine Touch. That's cool. Joys of Collecting Morgan Silver Dollars. Everybody loves those. Pricing Rare Coins in Today's World, taught by Jeff Garrett. So if anybody knows how to price rare coins, it's Jeff Garrett. Grading 101. Yeah, Grading 101. Damage Goods.
Yeah, it's Rod Guth, isn't it?
Rod Gillis.
Or Rod Gillis, okay.
Understanding Diceates on 1794 large cents. State coinage of the Confederation era, so that's like colonials. Hobo nickels, cool. Oh, and it's taught by Abigail Zeckman. That's really cool. Standardization and quality control of ancient Athenian coinage. Okay. Fairy tokens.
A little something for everything.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm just going through here, looking at all the different stuff. Documenting your coin collection. Huh, cool. Well, that's super cool.
So that was the news. And the news was brought to you tonight by Puddles, letting the world know that it has just rained for as long as anyone can remember Puddles, and by Screws, helping the world hold it together since 200 BC. Screws.
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.
Wow, that was a even for you, my friend, that was a long news section.
Well, I try to bring it.
It's okay.
I tried to walk you down a path and entertain you and make you laugh.
Consider it brought.
Okay.
You did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So anything really, really cool and interesting happening around your corner of the world?
I mean, we're just slowly but surely trying to get back to normal. We're open 2 days a week right now. Business is picking up, so we're kind of kicking around the idea of, opening another couple days, getting somewhat back to normal, being that most of, half of my employees are of that age that they can be vaccinated now that we're all, they're all becoming unicorns, I think that it's time to get back to work.
I am looking very forward to the time when I can have my inoculation. It is not close yet, but yeah, it'll be great when we can all be injected, and then we can just kind of meet freely. And look, I think the world has forever changed in some of the ways that we interact. There won't be as much hugging going on and stuff like that.
I'd still hug you.
I'm a big hugger. I am.
Yeah.
But for example, with us, we have been operating 5 days a week, but we've been doing it with the door locked.
Yeah.
So, Harlan starts to see the business has been picking up, and hey, when are we going to unlock the door? We're not. It's like things are good the way they are.
I think
we have a really tiny shop.
Right.
The shop itself downstairs is small, and so we can't really have more than like 4 or 5 people in there, other than the 4 employees. So that starts crowding up pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the kind of the path that happens for a while. I think a lot of coin shops are realizing, hey, wait a second, we're doing just as much, if not more, business on a limited schedule. Why are we paying people to be here? Why are we paying people to be here all this time when we're doing just as much business this way? So it might be interesting to see exactly how this pandemic affects brick and mortar coin shops.
Yes, and the people that work in them.
Yeah, for sure.
More importantly, because that's, I think, I don't think for us it's going to be an issue. We're basically downtown in Chicago, so we have a lot of business.
Yeah.
We have a lot of business.
Yeah.
So I really haven't seen it yet. That's what they keep telling me. It's like, Mike, you have had a very sheltered first year.
Yes, you really have. You most certainly have. I agree with that.
So, one of the things that I'm charged with from time to time is one of the things I don't get to do very often is look through coins.
Yeah.
And look through, bulk stock and stuff like that we have laying around. And, I've been informed way too many times that it's like, it's not worth it. And it's been shown to me mathematically, it's not worth it. By the time you make the money on it, you won't break even for the time you've spent. So, okay, no big deal. But I was instructed to check out a bag of Buffalo nickels by the store manager, and I was kind of puzzled as to why. I really didn't understand, but as I went through them, there were mint marked coins from the 20s. So I was like,
that's the reason. That's the reason right there.
So I think he knew that there were some of those in there, and so I was going through all of them, and I come up with a nice 26S.
Okay.
26S, and it's kind of fine-ish,
right?
VF-ish. It's there, so it's still a $70, $80, $90 coin.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, I'm looking, and I got to probably the last 15 coins, and I pick up a 37D.
Oh, you didn't.
I did.
Oh, you didn't.
I did.
I've never found one.
2XF.
Wow.
3-legged buffalo. And I got to walk over and just watch my CFO's eyes absolutely light up.
I've never found one in the wild. I've found a lot of stuff in the wild, but I've never found a 3-legger. So awesome. Good for you.
That was a nice first find.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem with that stuff, though, is if, I wish I had time to go through stuff, but I just don't. Right. I mean, there's so much that we just cycle through, especially in that low-end stuff, that I don't have the time to do it, and I don't want to pay somebody to do it. So,
well, I think one of the things that I've proven in the time that I've been there is that I will go through it faster than most people because I just don't dwell on it. You look and you move on. It's like if you can do it quick, you can go through some stuff.
Sure.
I shouldn't say it's my first find because it's my second one. Like two months after I started there, I found a 49S Franklin half in 66 plus full bell lines.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, there was that, but then there's, now there's this. And
there's those big ones though, that everybody should look for. I mean, should and do are two different things, but
well, it's amazing to me that was in the wild.
Right.
It absolutely blows my mind, but that's why you got to look.
Yeah.
And
I wish I had time.
Yeah.
Wish I had time. Well, you want to check in on the folks watching with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to take some questions if they have any.
Let's check it out. If you guys have questions, go ahead and bang them in now. We'll be happy to look at them. I can take a look and see what's going on. Let me get this pulled up here. There it is. Delmar corrected us and said that the George Washington quarter, the new one's going to have a 15% larger portrait of George Washington. So they're not going back to the old hubs. They're going to a brand new hub, so it's going to look completely different. It might be reminiscent of the earlier design, but it's definitely not going to be the same. So here we go again with another design change.
Well, that was one of your Secretary of the Treasury things, right? Discretion. It's been over 25 years.
Yeah, I guess so, but
I don't think I'm going to like it. I think there might be a reason why it doesn't show on the Mint website, because if you look, there are no pictures of that.
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying. I haven't even seen the obverse.
All over the place. The line drawings, but the obverse, no.
I want to see it. I don't know. So
now my question is did they make the Washington portrait smaller when they made the statehood quarter obverse? Because they had to cram so many other things onto that obverse with it, that maybe the 15% is the return to the normal size. Who knows?
That's funny. I never even thought about that, but that might be true. It's hard to say.
So we'll have to see what happens.
Delmar must collect these because he said yes, they did make it smaller. So maybe they are just returning back to the size that they were originally. So hopefully.
Yeah, you and I both want to see it. It's a retro that for 1 year, it's really cool.
Right.
Then go away. Don't go away mad.
Just go away.
Just go away.
So I guess I don't. You know how I feel about these quarter series, and I really don't want to get on here and rant.
Why not? It's fun.
Yeah. I'm not going to rant about quarters and the state quarter program and all the different quarter programs.
Look, I think that they have value, whether or not it be realized right now, whether it be realized 50 years in the future. I know that my kids and I had fun collecting the state quarters when they came out. Now, we did not enjoy the ATV quarters, mostly because they were older by that time and they had outgrown it.
Yeah.
So that wasn't something that we did. I will also tell you that my personal enjoyment with collecting the ATV quarters was really kind of dampened by the fact that they were so hard to find because of the way that they started, distributing coins with the ballistic bag. Now it was your Fed downtown gets huge shipments of coins. So when you get them, you're going to get them by the metric ton.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's all you'll see for a while. So, I think that the distribution has been poor. I think that, but overall it brought back the S-Mint circulation quarters, and that was just the ATV set. So I liked it. I think that the seniorage and stuff from this is all really, really, it's important. And it can be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to run $1.25 programs into perpetuity. And to be honest with you, I think that the $0.50 is next. They did it once before, but I think that they're going to do it again because they need to have a reason to mint these things every year.
Delmar also says the new quarter is supposed to be around for 10 years, and now their movement is to honor police and firemen, therefore changing the obverse of the quarter for the next 10 years, but using this larger obverse. Changing the reverse, I'm sure he meant to say, but
so I guess it's not going to be the Washington crossing to Delaware. It's going to be
honoring police and firemen. That that's something that
I wonder if it's going to be with the old Washington obverse.
We'll see. He says they're going to be using the slightly larger obverse. So
okay,
cool. Thomas asked, "Are there any shows that specialize in medallic art, or where are the shows that you would find most metal dealers?" Now, I will tell you that from my experience, I have seen the most medallic art dealers at the World's Fair of Money. I mean, it's just that's where they are. They have a whole section that has the world dealers, the medallic people. They're all there together. I don't know if there's any.
Pretty much the answer for everything, though.
Well, I mean, it is kind of a catch-all answer, but just from my personal experience being there, I have walked by these tables. I have seen tons and tons of stuff at these dealers' tables that all looks very interesting. I don't specifically deal in a lot of it, just simply due to the fact that we have to kind of be a jack of all trades in the store. But I do remember seeing quite a bit of it in that situation.
Yeah, and just to underline the fact that the World's Fair of Money is one of those places where it's like no matter how obscure the item that you collect, you will not only find a dealer there, you will find a group of dealers there.
Yep.
It's like my brother and I, when we first kind of got back into collecting about 25 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we used to walk shows, but we didn't really want people, because they were always, hey, what are you looking for? What are you doing? And we just didn't really want to be bothered. So we'd always tell them bust dollars because we knew it'd shut them down, right? Well,
Right.
we tried that at the ANA one year, and they were like, oh, okay, well, hold on a second.
Yeah, I have a box of them right over here. Just take a look.
No, we're not really interested in bust dollars. I'm sorry.
Let's see here. Barry Swan. Hi, Barry. What's the Matt? What's the best coin you ever found in a bulk bag? I found a lot of interesting things. The best coin that I can remember recently was a 42/1D dime that ended up grading AU55 at NGC. That was the last time I remember finding something super cool.
What kind of pennies have you found?
Pennies? What kind of pennies?
Have you found 22 no Ds? Have you found any?
I don't look much anymore. I wish I had time. That's the thing. We just move so much.
We're talking
weight.
all time.
All time? I don't remember. I look at a lot of coins.
Wow.
I really don't.
Nothing that exciting, apparently, Barry.
I mean, I found 35 double die Buffalo nickels. Probably 3 or 4 dozen of those.
I remember that.
36. 36 double die penny or cents. Sorry. 36 double die cents. 17 double die cents. I find that stuff just when I get. Very rarely, though, do I look anymore. I just don't have time. I wish I did. Let's see here. David, given the high mintage, why are the prices of W-proof Silver Eagles so high right now on the secondary market? That's a question for Mr. Nodelman here, because Mr. Nodelman is the modern guy.
Well, my pontification on this is that the last 2 years, they have cut off sales and limited mintage. And that's it. They raised the price. So, the price from the mint went up, and then they cut off the mintages. So not everybody who wanted one got one. Now I think it started in 18 when they started making the S mint proof and the W mint proof. And then they did it again in 19, and they did it again last year. And with the Silver Eagles, I think they have said that they're going to do it again this year. But they're cutting off mintages of them. So like the Proof Silver Eagles this year in particular, 2021, they had a limited mintage of, which I still don't understand why, and they limited the order to 99 per household.
Then they sell it in like 5 minutes?
Yeah, in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's just absolutely bad because average collectors that want this coin just for their collection are now going to have to pay huge money on the secondary market for a coin that just isn't worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, think about the 75th anniversary of World War II Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that everything's died down just a little bit,
what are they worth?
Right? What are they worth?
The last numbers I saw were like the Silver Eagles were 250-ish, 300-ish. Again, I don't pay much attention to that because if I see it in passing, looking at some of the dealer sites, I might remember it. But that's kind of the number I remember, 250-ish. Yeah, and they were 500 there for a while.
And now we're starting to see the same thing right now with the Gold Eagle proofs that just came out and sold out in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the mintages on these are really small. And I will tell you, just as a heads up to collectors, if you have coins like that you want to flip, do not, I repeat, do not call coin shops and say, I have these, what's your buy price?
Why not?
And if they, because it generally won't work. It's like if they have a published buy price, they'll tell you. Okay, but if they then ask you, well, what do you want for them? They're not going to be somebody that's going to buy your coins. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, when there's when there's an issue like that, we'll try to buy them for a little while, but I mean, we'll buy them and move them to some of the big national guys that are trying to put large groups of them together for grading or whatnot. I'll buy them for that reason, but I'm not going to buy them to stock them.
Well, and I'm not going to go into the market of bidding against other dealers, via phone.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Because that's what is happening the majority of the time. And all it really does is it just makes the dealers aggravated from the standpoint of, look, I may want to buy the coins.
Right.
And if you have a reasonable price in mind, let me know.
Yep.
It's like, do you buy these? Yes. Okay. Well, it's like, can you tell me what you buy them at? Well, what are you looking for? Have an answer.
Yep. Let's see. Delmar with another good question. You're being awful curmudgeon-y today, but it's okay because that's what we get with Mike, and we know.
Sometimes.
See, Delmar has another good question. With the cancellation of Central State Show next month, what is a good large show in the Illinois-Wisconsin region?
By the time we can go to one, the ANA will be in Chicago. It'll be in Rosemont this summer in August.
Yep, I think hopefully that show goes. I would love to get to a really, really large show like that. But I want to do it safely. We've talked about this several times. I want to be safe. I want everybody that comes to the show to be safe.
Long Beach just got canceled.
I know. The shows are still being canceled.
So, yeah, the next big show after that is going to be the ANA in Chicago in August.
We'll see. Hopefully things are starting to come back. We just got to finish this last little bit, and then we'll be back to...
Don't give it up now.
Yeah. That's right. Don't let your foot off the gas yet.
We've been working really hard, and the numbers are all pointing in the right direction. And there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a freight train.
Right. Little shows. There's lots of little shows. You look around. I know we have a local little show that goes on. They do the social distancing and the masks, and they do okay. And I hear that people are getting back to the collecting there, and that's fine. So, you might peek around for some little shows and see if there's something you can't go kind of wet your whistle a little bit for the coin show scene. And then hopefully this summer we can get back to it. Let me see. Leonard says, you deal exclusively with the public. What is it about coins that makes people think that they know value when they are really clueless? I have one word for you, Leonard. I'm going to take this one. You can also answer.
Can you repeat it, please?
Yes. He says, you deal extensively with the public. What is it about coins that makes the public think they know value when they're really clueless? There's really one word that describes or that answers this question for me, and that one word is internet. There's a lot of really, really terrible coin information out there on the internet. Places like Etsy, TikTok, a lot of these new media pages. There's a lot of people in there that just put out content that is bad. I mean, it's good for them because they get lots of clicks and they get lots of advertising, but it's really the information itself is just crap. Pardon my French, but it's just bad information. And then people see this information, they don't understand what they're looking at because it may be over their heads or it may be poorly executed. And then they tend to call into shops thinking that they have exactly what they saw in that video that somebody said was worth $25,000. So, and they don't. They never do.
You have these young content creators that their thing right now is to create content regardless of fact.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they do is they come high energy and they talk about things and they kind of get you, hey, you can find this in your change. That's usually how all these start. It's like, hey, this penny sold for $13,000, and here's how you can tell. And then they show some really obscure thing that there's like 6 of, and look, if that gets people looking at their change, I'm cool with that, as long as the information that they're giving you is accurate.
Yes.
The problem is that you have a lot of these younger content creators that don't really have a lot of experience, that think that they know way more than they do, that start creating this content. And the fact that it's on a platform, the fact that it's on a screen in front of people, now it gives them credibility. And
even though the information is junk.
Even though the information is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Then what happens on top of it is, because of the level of energy or the subject matter, because get rich is always it's a very clickable subject. They become clickbait. And by doing that, now they start to get a lot of subscribers. Now they start to get a lot of views. And it's insane how that stuff blows up.
Did I ever tell you about the signs that we have on the wall at the office?
That says, do not confuse your Google search with our numismatic
experience.
Knowledge. Yeah. Every coin shop has one.
I point to that several times.
No politics, no drama, just coins.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
I like that one.
Yeah, I might need to make that one as well.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know.
Let me move on here. David says, this is the first exposure to your show. How often do you change your content online? Well, David, we do this show every 2 weeks live. It also goes up to Apple in the podcast form, audio only. And then we create video content for YouTube, Facebook, several of those a week. So we're always putting stuff out. We also do a second show for people that support the show only. Everything we do, we don't actually do any advertising at all on the show. Everything we do is supported by people that like the show, and that way,
excuses people just don't pay much anyway. So
we're still waiting on that check. So that way we're not beholden, and we can kind of keep our opinions, and we don't have to worry about making a sponsor angry. So that's why we do that. But we try to put out as much content as we can. You'll hear from us usually. On our Facebook page, at least once a day, we post an interesting news story or video, and then during the week you get a video or two on some form of media.
Yeah, and I used to, and may go back to, posting videos from as a featured video from other content creators that we actually like and that we feel are offering good information. For example, Ben the Coin Geek, who I am doing a series with every Saturday right now. Last Saturday was part 1. Today part 2 dropped, and part 3 drops next Saturday. So that's on the Ben the Coin Geek YouTube channel, and he's somebody who creates really good content and is helping us to spread our word of creating good content.
We've always been about education on our show. Education and having a good time. So those are my two favorite things. So
yeah,
that's kind of what we do. If you've never been exposed to our show, we like to have fun. We like to teach. We like to have, just have interesting commentary about what's going on in the world in numismatics. I've been working in a shop for almost 20 years. When Mike and I started doing the show 10 years ago, he was a collector, a very into it collector, and then just recently he within the last year started working for Harlan Burke in downtown Chicago. So it's
I noticed the word knowledgeable was not coming out of your mouth there, but that's okay.
I was saying it in a roundabout way, Mike. You're much more book smart than I am. I'm the street smart one, and you're the book smart one. How's that?
Yeah, it doesn't really do much.
Let's see here. Looks like Joe said, I was told the people that do the Gettysburg show are trying to secure a large venue in Baltimore, D.C. to replace the Summer Whitman. The convention center where it's normally held is doing vaccinations. So that's the problem, is a lot of these large venues are being used for exactly that right now because the vaccines are out. They want to get this done. They want to, everybody wants to be through it just as much as we do. And so I still just hopefully, I think it's going to be summer, end of summer, before we can kind of start to do some of these bigger shows. And hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's much sooner. But the important part is doing it safe. So, yes. All right, Mike. Well, I think...
No question about it. Safety is the primary.
Yes, sir. Safety is paramount. Well, sir, now we're going to get to probably your favorite part of the show. Lately, I've been not liking this because I've been getting my butt kicked.
Well, I look. This is just kind of the way things work sometimes. And over the years, you have absolutely awed me with some of the stuff that has walked into your shop. And if you go to our website, coinshowradio.com, there is a gallery of some of the stuff that has walked into Matt's shop over the weeks and over the years. And it's been some really cool stuff. But now it's time for Absolutely.
And now for the coolest thing to walk in this week. A competition segment between Matt and Mike to see who's had the coolest thing walk into their shops. Who'll win this episode? Let's find out. Matt? Mike? Who's got the coolest thing?
Who's starting? You want me to go first?
I went first. I went first last time.
Okay.
You go first this time.
I will go first. Let me bring this up. How much do you know about Morgan Silver Dollars, Mike?
Not a lot.
We bought a very interesting coin this week. It came in actually from another dealer from Illinois. He drove over to see us and bring us a collection that he had purchased. We bought a 1901 Morgan Silver Dollar VAM 3 double die reverse, which if you know even a little bit about Morgan Silver Dollars, this is probably one of the largest, and I think this may actually be the largest double die on the Morgan Silver Dollar series. There's heavy doubling in the tail feathers, the feathers and the arrows, the leaves, the points of the arrows, and actually up into the wings of the bird. You can really see the doubling, which is really cool. And this is actually a really tough coin. This coin was graded AU 55 by NGC. It's a top 100 VAM, which makes it very, very collectible. And this is one of the maybe 10 VAMs I think that actually really matter, just because this is that big, giant double die. So that's what I brought. I don't know. It's going to be hard for you to beat this one because this is a rare coin, my friend. These are, in this grade, they are tough coins.
There are not a lot of double dies in the Morgan series that I'm aware of.
There are a lot of double dies, but most of them are very minor. This one is very, very large in this, in that series compared to a lot of the little minor stuff. 1878 is notorious for having a lot of double dies, especially in Liberty across the front of her tiara. So there are a lot of dates that do have double dies, but to have one this big, I can't think of another this large.
Yeah, because I'm more used to like repunch dates,
right,
and overmint marks and things like that with Morgans.
Certainly, yeah. That's what that series is really known for, and that's where there's a lot of interesting varieties. I mean, you have a lot of overdates. The 80 over 79. There's a lot of repunch dates. There's a lot of
die clashes.
You have a really cool O over CC mint mark variety in 1900. So, there's a lot of really cool stuff that has to do with the actual, the date or the mint mark. But this, there's not a lot of large double dies. So I brought this one. I thought it was really cool. This was my coolest thing to walk in this week.
And on top of it, there is an unknown number as to how many are existing.
Well, certainly, yeah. Yeah, that's always right with these double dies. They don't really know.
And that's cool.
Yeah, it is. I know.
That's cool-ish. Because I brought another silver dollar.
Ooh.
And this one was made a little over 100 years before yours.
Oh, I just pulled the picture up. I hate you.
So this is a 1797 10 by 6 stars.
Yeah.
It's a drape bust dollar. The mintage on this coin was 7,776.
It has the small eagle, dragon eagle reverse is what I call those things. They look like a dragon with their scales.
Yes. And quite often with these coins, you can see adjustment marks and things like that for the planchets, which were done after the coins were struck. So I think that kind of stuff is really cool. Now, this just happened. Oh,
adjustment marks were usually done before they were struck. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I have to hit it. Sorry. Okay, you're good.
I'm having a bad show. All right, so anyway, this particular coin just happened to wander into the shop. It belongs to a collector that we know, who wanted us to look at it, kind of evaluate it, give him an idea of what it was worth and what he wanted to do with it. I honestly don't know if there was an offer made, because I was really only concerned with the fact that it was sitting in this holder on a tray right in front of me, and I got to look at it and play with it for a little bit.
It looks like a nice coin. Looks original. The surface
beautiful coin. It's in fantastic shape.
A little rim ding on the back, but I mean, other than that, the surfaces look nice. It looks original. I think they'll overlook the rim ding.
the 10x6 design is really cool because it kind of illustrates the fact that when they started this country, we had 13 colonies, and as they added, they were like, okay, well, we're going to add a star for every state, and it kind of got cumbersome kind of quick.
It did.
Yeah, so they stopped doing that right after 16. There's nothing with 17 stars, I don't think. So 16 stars seem to be where they cut it off, and this is an example. They did a 9x7 and they did a 10x6, and the 10x6, in my opinion, is just it's a beautiful coin.
Yeah, super cool. One of my favorite coins. All right, well,
so you can go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/thecoinshow, and you can vote in our poll as to who had the coolest thing this week. What is our? Oh, well, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I had the coolest thing this week. That's all.
No. Well, and that would be first in probably a month.
Ouch, burn.
It's competition, bud. I'm bringing it.
Whew. That hurt. All right, well, I think our time's up, buddy. Let's wrap this thing up. Say goodbye to everybody.
I think I'm going to let you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We really enjoyed being here for you guys. Mike, do you have anything you'd like to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to apologize for all the bad information I gave. But beyond that, it was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody at Newman Numismatic Portal. Thank you to Leanna.
I said it right.
Yeah. Hey. All right. So and thank you to everybody who joined us. You can find our projects at www.coinshowradio.com. That's right. And go and check us out and see what you think. You can also subscribe to our YouTube page, where you will find a lot of our work.
Yep. Thank you, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening.
You've been listening to the Coin Show podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nottleman. The boys will be back soon with another informative and entertaining episode. Meanwhile, you can follow the show on social media at The Coin Show on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Coin Show. You can also join their private group. Just search Facebook groups for Friends of the Coin Show and request access. But if you want to take it to the next level and support the Coin Show podcast, you can go to www.patreon.com/The Coin Show. If you subscribe at the $5 a month level or higher, you'll have access to Not the Coin Show podcasts on the off weeks, as well as other surprises reserved for our patrons. Visit our website at coinshowradio.com or download our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. This has been the Coin Show Podcast.